Welcome to my channel and to this scrapbuster tutorial. I am really excited about this one. It's been in the works for a little while. I've taken some great ideas I've seen and added my own refinements. And what we have here is a little snap bag that pulls open and snaps itself shut. The lining is fully finished with no raw edges. And we're going to talk about how to add optional box corners to this so that you can have a boxed corner bag or a little flat bag. This particular design is perfect for holding your cables or using it as a purse pal, putting all those little items that you transfer from purse to purse. There's probably 100 other uses for this, and it is a super fun, quick, and easy sew that doesn't require any special skills. The materials we're going to use are shown in this chart, and I've also included a document linked in the description below that's got this material list with a brief outline of the instructions. In this tutorial I use cotton for the pull tabs, but as you can see in this sample, I've used cork fabric. Vinyl would also work beautifully, as would gross grain ribbon. A quick word about directional prints. If you happen to have a directional print in your fabric, then you'll want to cut that fabric a 1/2 inch longer and then cut it in half and piece it back together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance so that the pattern's oriented properly in your finished product. For the materials we're going to use today, I have our little pull tabs and the exterior and interior. I've gone ahead and attach the interfacing according to manufacturer's instructions with this fusible fleece centered on the wrong side of the exterior, and with the medium weight fusible interfacing flush with these short ends and then centered side to side. We're going to show you why we've got that there later. And as far as our measuring tape, my husband already had tools in his workbench to go ahead and cut these to size for me. And then I just put electrical tape on these sharp edges so that it doesn't do any damage and poke through the fabric. I have linked some snips and an inexpensive measuring tape and some electrical tape in the description below. My husband selected the snips for me based on what he likes to use to do these types of projects. So we're going to go ahead and get started with these little pull tabs. I'm going to be working on these pull tabs here at the cutting table because it makes it really easy to do my measurements. I want to fold these sides in, and since this is 3 inches long, I'm folding each side in 1.5 inches, and then I'm folding it in one more time. So we just have this little double fold here, and the raw edges are all enclosed. And now I like to use a little bit of glue, but I could just take this to the machine and sort of baste across those edges. This is just a lot faster, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue in there and glue up those edges. And then I am folding one more time to create our little pull tab, and I'll go ahead and glue that in place as well, and repeat the process for our other pull tab. Once our glue is dry, I am going to go ahead and use a fabric pen to mark center on each of these pull tabs at this top unfinished edge. I am going to attach these pull tabs to the centers of these short sides of my exterior. In order to make sure it's centered nicely, I'm going to go ahead and fold this and make a little snip on our fold. And that'll make it really easy to properly center our little pull tabs. Again, I'm going to bring the glue out so that I can glue our pull tabs here so they'll be ready to sew on. And I'm lining that center mark that I made with a pull tab up with the center mark that we snipped into the exterior. With the lining wrong side up, I am going to fold in each of these short ends so that they meet up with that edge on the interfacing. To confirm, we want that edge of the interfacing to be 2.5 inches in from the edge of the fabric. And if we measured correctly when we cut our interfacing, that should be spot on. So I am going to go ahead and fold up these ends, give them a good finger press, take them to my iron, and give them a really good press with the iron. These folds are going to create our casings that we will use later on with our measuring tape. And that interfacing gives it a little bit more structure to handle this metal while also hiding the colors on the measuring tape so they aren't going to show through, even if you've got a lighter fabric. So with that done, we're going to take our exterior and our lining and put them right sides together. Once we've got that all clipped in place, I'm going to go to the machine and sew up these ends. With these ends sewn up, I've got something that looks like a fabric tube, and I'm going to turn that right side out. Because of the creases we made earlier, this is trained to lay properly, although we will need to make sure that that seam allowance we just created is facing out and that our pull tabs are facing in. And then give those ends a really good press again. The rest of the construction will be done at the sewing machine, and we're going to start out with our top stitching along the bottom of the casings on both ends. With our casings sewn up, it is time to insert our measuring tape. The measuring tape is going to slip into these casings at either end with the rounded side facing outside to the exterior of the bag. I'm going to center them as best as possible in there and then clip them in place so that they don't wiggle and get into our seams. Now I'm going to do a quick basted stitch down both sides. Now that our exterior and our lining are all secured with the base stitching, we're ready to sew this up. And we are going to do French seams today. That's going to give us a nice finished look on the seams in the interior. And the first thing I'm going to do is line up these top corners really well. And the bottoms of your casing should line up also. I'm going to clip that in place, and then both sides are going to get sewn up from the right side with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Those sides are sewn, and I went ahead and trimmed a bunch of those loose threads out because inevitably they will pop out of our seam later if we don't. And now I'm going to turn this whole bag wrong side out. I'm going to poke out my corners really well. And if I want at this step, I could take this to my iron and just press these to make them nice and crisp. I'm just going to finger press this because I think I'll get fine results doing that here. And I'm going to sew the seam one more time. This time I'm going to take a 3/8 inch seam allowance. This flat bag is all sewn up, and I can turn it right side out for the reveal. And if you have a turning tool or the end of a paintbrush or whatever you like to use to poke out your corners, now's the time to poke those out. And you may notice, even though we trimmed, there may be some loose strings to snip off. And here we go. If you want a flat bag, the bag is complete. See how nice that lining looks? I'm going to show you now how to go back and box those corners. And this is a super, super easy method. And for this particular style bag, this method ends up looking really nice. Okay, to box these corners, we are going to open the bag up and stick our fingers in there and poke the corner out so that the side seam lies right down the middle. And then we push that side seam to one side and take a quilt ruler and measure 1/2 inch from the tip. And the trick here is just to make sure that ruler is lying really straight. And if you look at these markings at either side, you'll be able to see if it's straight. And I am drawing my sew line right across here and putting a clip on it. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to sew across those lines. I'm ready to turn this again. And there are our boxed corners. And there's our snap bag. And just like that, our Scrappy snap bag is complete and ready to use or give. I hope you have as much fun with this project as I did. If you have any questions or suggestions or want to share how you plan to use your little Scrappy snap bag, drop them in the comments below. If you appreciate this content, please like and subscribe. And until next time, happy sewing.